What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com bringing home the bacon NBA DFS video. It is Wednesday. It is January 15th, already halfway through February or January. We got the Super Bowl coming up in a couple of weeks, which is wild. Then we've got a little bit of NBA, and then we've got MLB. So if you are new to the channel since the start of the NFL season, you are going to be in for a treat, hopefully, for the MLB content that we bring out there. So if you want to check it out, see what we did last year, go check out our playlist. Go check out how we broke down every single game, all the pitchers, all the batters in those games every single day of the season last year. But you guys are here for NBA. So here's what we do. Every single video, we have a giveaway or two. First way, like the video. You got to be a subscriber to the channel, and you've got to leave a comment on the video for the comment picker to pick you up. If this video gets at least 50 likes, you will have a chance to win a free week of FTA Plus. That includes a week of all sports that we have. So we have NBA today and every other day. We've got NFL this weekend. We've got PGA this weekend. And I believe we do have MMA this weekend as well. I'll have to dig into that. I've started the majority of the PGA content. The simulations are up. The projections are up. We are going to have the cheat sheet and everything, and lineups will be there as well. So if we get at least 50 likes, you'll have a chance at a free week of all content. 100 likes on this video, a chance at a free month. 150 likes, a free year. 200 or more likes on this video, a chance at a lifetime pass. The second way to win, somewhere in this video, I'll say a keyword, listen for it, and type it in. You have a chance to win another week of FTA Plus. Now, you could win both of them. It's happened before. It hasn't happened in a while, but it has happened before. So, that being said, in these videos, as long as we have at least 5 games on the slate, today we have 11 on FanDuel, 9 on DraftKings. I don't know why it's different. We give you 3 top, 3 mid, and 3 value picks at each position. It is, a little bit later in the day than we usually film these, so some of the news will be out. Depending on when you watch this video, we've got a ton of players that are still questionable. We have a ton of players that are already ruled out. And then we have some players that were ruled out yesterday. They still have the out tag, but it is a second game of a back-to-back, so we got to pay attention to that. Ton of teams are playing on a second game of a back-to-back, so we have to be weary of that as well. So we're going to go through everything. What I usually tell everyone, go to the website, go to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. Under the NBA tab, check out everything about 2 to 3 hours before tip-off. We got a bunch of news that come out during the afternoon, and that'll help you out. So we're going to do a little bit different today. We're going to go through the projections and the early simulations. So we've already done 10,000 simulations today. We're going to go through all of those. We're going to build a DraftKings lineup, a FanDuel lineup, and a Yahoo lineup, and then we're going to have our giveaway. So stick around towards the end of the video, see if you are a winner at least one time, if not twice. We did have 50 likes, and we had a bunch of people that used the keyword yesterday, which was jellyfish, because I got stung by a jellyfish. So that being said, we are going to go position by position. We're going to go with FanDuel today because we have 11 games, and we're going to go through everything that we possibly can. So if you need a paper pen, whatever you need, definitely check it out. So just kind of looking at point guard right now, Tyrese Maxey let us down. He was in one of our lineups, and he was ruled out of nowhere. Still got that out tag. It's not been ruled out for today yet. Yeah, so he was able to go through shoot-around, then he couldn't do it, so he was out. So as you see, I just clicked on that, and it's now moved from out to game time decision. So that's kind of what's going to happen. So pay attention to some of these tags here. So we are going to look at the point guard position first. I love LaMelo Ball today. We're projected right around 50 to 54 fantasy points. He's got the 26 DVP against Utah, which is a fantastic spot. We're going to talk about pace of play as well towards the end here. We got Trae Young, who is projected to play. Game logs. He did play yesterday. Thought he was going to be out of nowhere. He played 57.1, played 38 minutes. The only thing I would be worried about is he did miss some time, and then this is the second game of back-to-back, so that's definitely something to look at. But I'm, excuse me, I'm looking right around 48 to 52 fantasy point range there, and he's got the 29 DVP for his position against Chicago, which is a great matchup for him. Then we go down. We got Scotty Barnes right around 46 to 48 fantasy points. Love this matchup for him against Boston. So now we come down the list and we look for some mid-tier picks. So mid-tier, usually about, depending about 7K or less is what we're looking at. So if I look at that and just looking at what we've got and trying to find some of these plays, and it depends on which website obviously you're playing on, but different eligibility at different positions. But if I'm looking at these prices, I'm looking a little bit at Fred VanVleet, about 37 to 40 fantasy point range against Denver. I love this matchup for him. You got Austin Reeves against Miami, 36 to 38. We've got Josh Giddey going up against Atlanta, 35 to 38 fantasy points. Then we come down and find value. Now, my value is what I'm looking at, normally under 5K, both FanDuel and DraftKings. So it's kind of hard sometimes to find it with the good matchups as well. But if he plays, I own Dosunmu. He is 5,100. Going up against Atlanta, 30 fantasy points is what I'm looking at. Again, he's questionable, did not play yesterday. That is definitely something we got to look at. Another value, Buddy Hield going up against Minnesota, about 24 to 28 fantasy points. And then we've got Lonzo Ball. Might play a little bit. It definitely will see. Going up against Atlanta, 27 DVP, about 23 to 26 fantasy points. Then we move to shooting guard. You see Paul George out. Now, he was out yesterday. He was in our lineup as well. But you click on it, and then he goes to game time decision. So whether or not he just needed a break yesterday, that is definitely something to look at. But looking at shooting guard, we got Anthony Edwards, Ant-Man at the top. 43 to 45 fantasy points is what I'm looking at. Amen Thompson, about 42 fantasy points. Zach LaVine against Atlanta, about 40 fantasy points himself. Moving to mid-tier here, you got Brandon Miller against Utah, 31 fantasy points. Devin Vassell, I love Devin Vassell today. Going up against Memphis, 24 DVP, about 31 to 35 fantasy points. And then I'm bringing it down a little bit. Trey Murphy, about 29 to 32 fantasy points. Then we come down the list and we look at value. We've got Terry Rozier going up against the Lakers, 23 to 25 fantasy points. Steven Castle against Memphis, about 23 to 25 as well. And then drop down a little bit, Max Christie for the Lakers against Miami, 17 DVP, about 22 to 25 fantasy points. So we move to the small forward position now. And I did forget to mention, I am going to be putting out NFL content this week for divisional rounds. Some of the projections are out already. We're waiting on some of the news. It's going to be, and I am going to do a breakdown. It's going to be just the 4-game breakdown. It's going to be all 8 teams. We're going to break down both Saturday and Sunday slate combined together. I'm not splitting it up, and I'm not doing like a Saturday-only slate or a Sunday-only slate. I am bringing you guys a full breakdown of divisional round this weekend. I missed it this past couple of weeks when I haven't been able to put out videos, so I'm ready to go, ready to give you guys that NFL content before it's over until next season. So, moving to the small forward. I do have Jason Tatum. Got him about 48 to 52 fantasy points. Love the matchup against Toronto, 27 DVP. We got LeBron James, who does have a questionable tag, trying to see if he's going to be in or out. He's probable. So he's probable. Problem is his price, and he's been down a little bit here. So it has affected him. The minutes have been there, but his production has not been there. That's the only thing that scares me a little bit. Got him projected right around 48 to 50 fantasy points as well. And then we got Paolo back, since I've been gone. You've been gone. So he played, he played basically the entire time. Or no, he's only been back for 2 days. 2 games. He last played the 12th. The minutes are weird a little bit. He has not hit 30 minutes in his past 2 games. Scares me a little bit. Got Paolo there, though. About 45 to 48 fantasy points, depending on if he can get his full complement of minutes. That is what we'll definitely be looking at. So mid-tier here at the small forward position, depending on how far down you want to go, we got RJ Barrett right around 37 fantasy points. Desmond Bane right around 34. Andrew Wiggins right around 31. And then trying to find some sort of value here. I was able to find some that I didn't mind. Jaden McDaniels going up against Golden State, about 25 to 28 fantasy points. Bryce Sensabaugh against Charlotte, 29 DVP, a great matchup for him, under 5K, 25 fantasy points. And then Najee Marshall for Dallas does get a little bit of boost with Luka being out. A little bit. We got about 24 to 28 fantasy points. Then we move to the power forward position. Looking at this, now, Anthony Davis with a questionable tag is probable. Both of them, him and LeBron, played last time. Both put out basically the same, but the price for Anthony Davis is up there. Only projected right around 54 to 55 fantasy points. For his price, I'm probably off of him, especially since he's not 100%, and he is always a threat to leave the game injured, so I am probably off of him. If I were to pay at this price, it would be Giannis. I'm looking at Giannis here at about 52 fantasy points is what I would definitely be looking at in that sense here. So we look at that. We got Giannis about 52 to 55. Jaren Jackson Jr. about 42 to 45. Come down the list a little bit for mid. PJ Washington, I've got him right around 35 fantasy points. Miles Bridges right around 35. And then Cameron Johnson against the Clippers, 26 DVP, a great matchup for him, about 30 to 35 fantasy points, depending on if he's going to get the minutes. Then we got to find that value. Where are we going to find this value? It could come, and we don't know. But looking at this, I'm looking at Kyle Filipowski against Charlotte, 25th DVP, about 25 fantasy points. Patrick Williams against Atlanta, 29th DVP for him, 23 fantasy points. And then come down the list a little bit. Peyton Watson against Houston, 15 DVP. It really depends if he's going to get any minutes here. About 21 to 23 fantasy points. Then we move to the center position. We are looking at the top. Jokic, he's 12,900. Second game of a back-to-back. He only played 28 minutes against Dallas yesterday. 47 fantasy points. It scares me a little bit. So he's been down. I don't know if I want to pay 13,000. I don't know if you can even put together a decent lineup if he's 13,000 and that's it. So I'm scared. I'm probably not paying up for Jokic. Maybe it comes back to bite me. Maybe you guys would love to know. Have you guys been able to build a lineup with Jokic today that even feels good that you could even get in the money there? So personally, I got Jokic right around 60 fantasy points. It's not enough for me at his price. We got Wemby here. We got him about 57 to 60 fantasy points. I do not mind him. You can use him power forward. You can use him center. Really just depends. We got Karl Anthony Towns. He is questionable. I think he plays. If he does, I do like him against Philly. 12th DVP, about 52 to 55 fantasy points. Come down mid-tier here. Porzingis, about 38 fantasy points, 29 DVP against the position. Mark Williams against Utah, 30th DVP, so the best matchup for him, 35 fantasy points. And then Rudy Gobert, about 32 fantasy points there. And then you want to find some value. So, Day'Ron Sharpe, we're looking about 22 fantasy points, 19 DVP. Wendell Carter Jr., 20 fantasy points. I don't know if I'm going to go down that far. And then you could go a little bit further. Drew Eubanks against Charlotte. Not the best matchup. Got him projected right around 19 fantasy points. So those are just some of the projections. These are through 10,000 simulations. We do 20,000 simulations a day. So these are the early ones. And these are just some of the projections. If you want to see all of the projections, that's part of FTA Plus. That's the NBA tab. Whether or not you're playing FanDuel, DraftKings, we got projections for both. We've got simulations for both as well. So if you want to check all of them out, make sure you sign up. It is $10 a week or $30 for a month. You can always check it out. Or if you want to continue with just these videos, that's completely fine as well. So the key word of the day is coffee, because I have needed it. Coming back from vacation, being sick, lifesaver. So that being said, we did talk about we're going to look at pace of play. So these are the teams, these are the pace of plays, these are exactly what you need. So pace of play means pace factor, the number of possessions a team uses per game. So obviously the higher the pace of play, the higher the amount of possessions a team uses. So you want to look at that. You want to look at the Vegas numbers. You want to see the teams that make sense. So the top 5 right now: Memphis, Atlanta, Chicago, Washington, and Denver. So you want to take those. You want to look at teams that have like assist ratios, turnover ratios, offensive rebound rate. So the higher the numbers, the better chances you have. So don't only look at DVP, because a lot of people only look at DVP and that is it. Make sure you check out pace of play as well. Completely free on the website under the NBA tab, the second tab, or the third tab down. So, we are going to build a lineup. I've already built a lineup on DraftKings, so I wanted to bring that to you. Now, these are early lineups, obviously. These are very early, and that is exactly what we do. So, if you're looking, some of this will change a little bit. Again, if Towns is ruled out, obviously that is a huge value that goes away, or huge salary that goes away, and you can find other value here. So these are early lineups. These are most likely will change throughout the day. So Chris Paul at the top, Jalen Green, Jaden McDaniels. You got Julius Randle, Karl Anthony Towns. You got Castle, you got Sensabaugh, and you got Jacob Poeltl here for DraftKings. So I'm going to lock that in. We're going to do that. Not a ton of you play Yahoo, but some of you do. So we are going to look at Yahoo, LaMelo Ball, Castle, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. You got Sensabaugh again. Jovic is a cheap power forward option here at $15. Again, the pricing is different on Yahoo. You got Jaden McDaniels. You got Alperin, and then you got Devin Vassell. Like I said earlier, I do love me some Devin Vassell today. I like the value he's got. I like the DVP he's got. I like the pace of play that game is in. So I'm definitely looking at that. And then we can build you a FanDuel lineup real quick. Again, like I said, I am off of Jokic. I don't think I want anything to do with him. I do want to look at a little bit of Fred VanVleet. Dosunmu, if he plays. Now, he's got the questionable tag. Well, didn't play Tuesday, but is expected to play Wednesday. Whether or not the minutes are there, that's what scares me. But he has not played since December 23rd, so almost for 3 weeks. So if he's... The only problem I have here is if he is not conditioned enough to go 25, 30 minutes. That is the only thing that scares me a little bit. So that is one where I don't know. So Paul George, Keontae George. I wanted to see if Keontae George questionable. He has not played for 4 games. So I was looking at him, but not if he's not going to play. So that might change the lineup a little bit because I had my eye on him, but it didn't. So we got Amen Thompson that I want to look at for $8,300. The fact his price has gone up so much is wild. I want to put a little bit of value matchup here for Dylan Brooks. I want to put in now Jalen Johnson. I got to see if he plays. So he has missed 4 games. I am scared that he might not play. That's the only thing that scares me a little bit. So him being at 8,500 will open up value here. So I do want to change this up a little bit. I do want to go Van Vliet. I want to go, I'm going to go change it up. Reeves a little bit here at point guard. We can get Thompson here at shooting guard. We got shooting guard there. Dosunmu also, I believe, has, shooting guard potential. So we look at that. Dosunmu is there. Jaime is here at 6,000. It's wild to see his price there. Dylan Brooks, we're putting him back in there. We'll put a little bit of James. I think he'll play. I like him better than paying up for Anthony Davis. I will tell you that. And then looking at a center position, Walker Kessler. I don't want to pay up for Jokic. I can't fathom paying almost $13K for that. So there you go. We got that lineup for FanDuel. We'll lock that in. We've locked the DraftKings in. And now we are going to have the giveaway for you. So this will be the first one. Even if the keyword of jellyfish is in here, it is only for getting at least 50 likes. And we will definitely see. So we will see who the winner is. Janky mode. Jellyfish. Yes, so Janky, you did have the keyword, but we are still going to re-roll it anyway because that is what we do here. So congratulations. If you can email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com. This dfshelp, the number 1 at gmail.com. Let me know if you have a username on the website. If you do not, let me know a username, email, and a password, and we will get you set up, and we will get you on your road for a free week. Now, I'm going to re-roll it. This could be a winner again here. You never know. I didn't mean to do that. You never know. Good luck to everyone. This is for everyone that used the keyword jellyfish. Sergeant Saint, congratulations. Jellyfish, yeah, congratulations. Sergeant has won a ton of times. You guys can too. All you got to do, you got to be a subscriber here. You got to come back every day, and you got to interact with these videos. So that is what I've got in these videos. If you have any questions, get those down below. Our completely free Discord is down below as well. We will try to help you out there. And we give out some core plays there. We give out advice. If you got questions, we've got answers for you, hopefully. So that is what I've got. Hopefully you have a great Wednesday, whether or not it's in real life or DFS, whatever it is. Be on the lookout for our PGA content and be on the lookout for the NFL content. That'll be coming soon. I wanted to do a video today, but if my voice gives out, I won't be able to do a video. So the video will be out before Saturday. We'll put it that way. Most likely it will be out by Friday at the latest. It'll just depend on how my voice goes. So that is what I've got. Good luck today. And as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace.